My friends, and welcome to part 74 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Let's Play series. In today's video, I'll be going over the final scenario, and then if I have time I can go over the secret pack that I unlock as a result of that. And then maybe even go over how I'm gonna change my frog deck up a little bit for the next set of my deck battles for the Legend of Star Heroes, when I have to go back and do those. Okay, so here we go. Let's go through the goal scenario here though. So here's what I get for clearing it. I get the Orchestrated Attack. This is the one that when any monster declares an attack, I tribute an Orchis or World Legacy to banish a monster that my opponent controls. So that's pretty cool. It gets over destruction immunity, but unfortunately it doesn't get over targeting immunity. Anyway, here's the cards that will be appearing in this scenario. So Orchestrated Babel, Crusadia Equimax, Crusadia Draco, Orcustrian, Orcus Symbol Skeleton, Galatea the Orcus Automaton, Orchestrated Einsatz, Crusadia Maximus, Longiasu the Orcus Orchestrator, World Legacy World 1, Orchestrated Attack, Orchestrated Core, and that's it. Okay, so now let's go into it. The Crusadia headed toward where Ningirsu was. However, before they could reach him, they had to get past the countless Orcus weaponry. The Orcus were merciless as they were numerous, and the Crusadia suffered greatly as they tried to fight their way through. In the heat of the battle, Aram began to feel that within Orchestrated Babel there dwelled a power similar to that of his key. The mechanical vessels use whatever little of the key's power they had inherited and activated Orchestrated Babel. From the depths of the tower, a great light was released, and the tower itself seemed to almost fall away with it, as the beam stretched into the sky above. No, the activation must be stopped, Aram thought as he dashed toward the machinery. However, before he could move any further, Ningirsu appeared before him. It was the first time they had seen each other since that tragedy long ago. The eyes met within the chaos of the battle. Aram opened his mouth to speak. Why, he asked, would you want anything to do with the Great Darkness? Why put our planet under threat like this? Why did you create this spiraling tower and this army of mechanical weapons? Ningirsu had only one simple answer for him. For Ib. It was the only reason he needed. For his sister, he was willing to activate Babel to strike the World Legacy World 1 down from the skies and break the Earth's surface. So it could awaken the slumbering World Legacy World Arc and use its influence over life and death to revive Ib's soul. Then after the Great Darkness had been freed from within the earth, he was going to use his power to resurrect Ib as a celestial being. Now they heard the truth from Ningirsu. Aram readied his sword and knew they had to stop this at all costs. Ningirsu did budge and instead swung his lance in return. No one's going to stand in his way, not even Aram. The swordsman knew that Ningirsu loved Ib more than anyone in the world. But that did not make it right for him to put the entire planet in danger like this. Aram knew that Ib would not want this even if it meant that she could live once more. However, for Ningirsu, there was nothing he wanted more than to see his sister open her eyes again. And if it meant that he had to turn against the entire world, then so be it. Both men had already made their minds up on what they wanted to achieve. Neither wanted to budge, and so they clashed, but neither could gain a decisive advantage. The Orkshire Babel activated, and at last the world wand had been toppled. When it fell on the earth, it gored the land below, and the resulting shockwave reverberated across the entire planet. So that seems like kind of a anticlimactic ending right there. Yep, and there's a secret pack. So I'll go to the store right away. So here's the secret pack that I unlocked. Okay, so yeah, it looks like I never unlocked the secret pack before, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, here's the things that you can get from here. Mech Knight Crusader Avamax is a pretty cool Link monster, actually. So yeah, that might be a reason to go for this. And then Dingirsu is really good for like either Orcus or like level 8 or by using it in a level 8 centric deck. Like maybe you could use it with the dangers. And then Grand Manchu likes using it too. But you could also use it with like the Mech Knight monsters as well, the Mech Knight Lynx. And the Mech Knight Lynx are kind of generic, so like they're kind of easy to bring out. So like you could probably use it in quite a few decks, not just like Orcus decks. So yeah. So anyway, and then this is a pretty good card too, since it mills your Orcus or World Legacy, and then a lot of them have graveyard effects, so they can like help get your play going. Like you can mill Orcus Hopper to special summon another Orcus from the deck at that point, which is pretty cool. And then you'll have Girsu and another Orcus on the field, so you can go into Galatea, which she's also at 1. And then here's the Crusader Magius and Maxim Equimax. And then Longiasu, here he is, Lib. Yeah, she's also pretty good. That Lib, also pretty good because she allows you to set a World Legacy spell or trap directly from your deck. No, she's not one of the ones that are banned. The Synchro one is the one that's banned in the TTG. Yeah. And then Avida, Rebuild of Worlds. Has kind of a cool summoning condition. Huh. It has a pretty good effect too when you like summon it. Not too bad. And then Orcus Crescendo is the Omni Negate basically, while you control an Orcus Link monster. Or Custrian is like basically, I guess, the boss monster, I guess you could say. God Dragon Pissy is pretty good for Dragon Link decks. I think they still play that card. And then Crusader Arborea, Orcus Hopper, see that's at 1 too. Orchestra Return. This is like the card that a lot of people with Orcus decks like to run over Allure of Darkness, I guess. since like it allows you, since like saying Orcus or World Legacies to the graveyard is much better than like banishing them, that because usually they have graveyard effects. So yeah, not bad, and it can help get your play started. And then World Legacy God Dragon isn't too bad, allowing you to special summon a level 4 lower dragon from your hand, from your graveyard, or add to your hand. That's a pretty good card. That could be a good card for Dragon Links, although not a lot of like Dragon users really use that. So yeah. And then Crusadia Crawler, kind of good for like searching World Legacies by just simply special summoning it to a zone and link monster points to. Not bad. And then here's some more Crusadia cards that are pretty good. Crusadia deck. A few more Orcus and a few more God Dragons. I don't think people really play the God Dragons all too much. And then World Legacy God Dragon Marduk. I think people play this sometimes in Duel Links, but not very much in the TCG. I believe that card's in Duel Links. And then Crusadia Power is a pretty good card, allowing a Crusadia monster to be just unaffected by card effects for the turn, which is a really good protection, since it only lasts for one turn. Like that's actually kind of nice, because once your turn rolls around, when your opponent has like less things that are gonna affect that monster, typically, or like you could even activate during your turn if your opponent's more of a trap based deck, where like they're more likely to have stuff during your turn instead of their turn. Like the versatility makes it pretty nice. Anyway, so there they are, like pretty good if you're into like Orcus or God Dragons or Crusadia. Also kind of nice if you're into Dragon Link, because if you like the God Dragon Pissy isn't, I don't think it's too bad for Dragon Link. And then you might, but like the Pissy and that World Legacy God Dragon are both rares, so you could probably just like, you could also just just craft both of them. And I think World Chalice God Dragon Almadoke could be kind of a good super polymerization target, but I think people run other things instead of that. Oh wait, no, yeah, no, you can, I'm not sure if you can use opponent's cards. I guess it still can be pretty good in the right deck. And then also, like, Dingirsu, pretty good for Grand Manchu, and like maybe like other decks that want to run the Crusadia cards. So anyway, not a bad secret pack overall. So now I'll go over my deck a little bit, how I'm going to be changing up. Here's what I'm going to simply do. Let's see if I can copy it. I'm going to copy the deck. Copy. Then here's what I'm going to do. So here's what I'm going to simply do for now. Maybe I can get into like a 60 card grass looks greener deck eventually, but for now I'll just do it like this. So first I'll bring up the frogs. And of course I'll change the name and like change some of the accessories. So I'm gonna take out a link spider for the totally awesome. And then what I'll do is I'll add in these frogs. The 2 Ronins and the 3 Dewfrog. And then I'll take out the Infinite Impermanence. I guess the Effect Veiler. Probably the Nibiru. And I guess I could just take out both of the Call by the Graves too. There. That looks not bad. So yeah. And now rename it so it says Paleozoic Frog. I'll name it Paleozoic Prank Frog so I don't get confused with the 60 card variant. Because there's actually there's actually no Paleozoics. I forgot about that. So I'll just name it Prank Frog. Good enough. Okay, and then there's gonna be the deck. I don't really need a lot of hand traps for solo mode, I feel. So there you go, good enough. Okay. And then let's go into actually let's go into a Duelist Cup reward. So here's the stuff that I can get from the Duelist Cup here. Cards including the pack. See, I can get Symbol of Friendship, Legacy of Duelist. That's kind of an interesting card, I guess. Clashing Souls, Card of Fate, Feline Hydra, number C39, Dark Highlander, Elemental Terraformer, Sinister Serpent, Valdagion, Doom Dozer, DDD, number 83, Galaxy Queen, number 44, Sky Pegasus, Quagga, Hercules, Multiple Piece Golem, the Legendary Fisherman, Elemental Hero, Woodsman, Elemental Hero, Ocean. Yeah, I'll just go through the rest of these. So like not like the best cards in the world, but like they're like some of these are pretty good if you're playing like a DDD deck, or like Doom Dozer is pretty good, and like if you're playing like maybe like a deck that has a few insects that allows you to like special summon this out pretty easily, or if maybe you're playing that Doom Dozer FTK with that one dude, I forget the name of it, but like there's like a Doom Dozer FTK, but like it's not really part of the meta right now, but. And then also, I guess this isn't too bad. This has like a lot of effects that are kind of good, like forcing each player to only be able to set one spell or trap card from the hand per turn. Like this could be pretty good as a counter to like trap-based decks. And then also monsters can't attack the turn they were special summoned from the X deck. That could be kind of good for slowing your opponent down. So it has some pretty good effects, but like not a lot of people would play that. But it could be a good counter to some decks, I guess. And also like being able to recur stuff from your graveyard instead of drawing could be good too. So I'll just skip this, see what I get. So I got the Card of Fate. Yeah, I mean, kind of an interesting effect, but since your opponent gains, I think basically the same amount of damage you do, it might not be as worth it. I don't know. Since both players are being able to search for something. So I don't know. It might be worth it in some decks though. And then this could be pretty good in Cyber's decks, since his special summons a Cyber's from the graveyard. So those are the cards I got. I guess I'm gonna go with like number C39 as my favorite card for the artwork. And then you can let me know which one was your favorite card from this pack opening. But anyway, thank you for everyone who stayed for the pack opening. I'll see you in the next one. Please like, share, and subscribe, and consider ringing that notification bell for regular content. So the next video I'm going to be doing is another Fall Guys for tomorrow. And then I'll go ahead and go over my games on Sunday, like what games I have, so like you can decide maybe what you want me to start playing. Anyway,